There are so many seasons in a relationship. And we thought today we're going to talk about what we call the second season in a relationship with us and with you.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
We're really grateful and honored, actually, that we've been able to create for you over 403 Inside Track episodes, and they're free. You can find them on YouTube, or you can find them through getting an email from us, or on CHRI or on 99.1 FM. They are there for you so that you can learn wherever you want, whatever you want, because we don't just talk about real estate, although we love that many of them around selling and buying real estate. There's also around how to have a simply whole life, how to build wealth, how to just dig in and get it done when you don't want to. And then we even talk about relationships, strengthening, healing, and flourish in relationships. So it is amazing that that's what today's all about.
Speaking of relationships,
Yeah,
do you realize it's been over 40 years since our first date?
I know.
This is Valentine's, so we get a little bit romantic, a little bit maybe reminiscent of the past. Do you remember our first date?
I do. And it's interesting because I got to correct you. Because it isn't over 40 years since our first date. It is over 40 years since you started stalking me and we met in math class. Because 40 years since our first date is in 2 weeks. It's
That's
February
true.
29th.
That's true.
We get to celebrate.
But can we consider like when we met on the ski slope when you got stuck in the trees and I pulled you out of the trees and then you bought me a hot chocolate? Could we consider that our first date?
No.
Oh,
I like
because that would make me right, and I like to be right.
Yeah, true that. And so the second season is really when you get to meet somebody.
Dating.
It's dating.
It's dating. It's dating us.
Right? So you pick up the phone or you send us an email and you say, I kind of not like date me romantically, but date you, interview you, and decide whether, what you heard on the radio and what you received in the emails and what you got when you asked for the right fit guide or the ebook on how to sell, buy, and invest in real estate, whether now there's still alignment.
Or you read the wealth formula and you've determined that you're going to buy your next investment property and start building wealth.
Exactly. And so you go season 2.
I wonder
It's
if they're
when we
like
get face to face.
Yeah, I wonder if they're like what they are like on the radio.
Right, which is kind of scary if it's true, and it is actually true.
Oh, yes.
That's what our guests say.
That's all I
and our
can say
clients
is yes.
Yes. And so we want to give you opportunity to either have a face-to-face consultation. Start with a phone consultation, though. Always start with the phone if you're local, right? That's a great way to initially get connected, kind of get a feel and go, do I really
They can't
want
phone
to
if they're not local?
Yeah, they can, but then we might want to do Zoom.
Oh, Zoom.
Zoom. Use one of the FaceTime apps and get face-to-face because there's something you can get, even if you're not heart-to-heart, just face-to-face sets a different stage.
So most people hear Zoom and they think Mazda.
Oh,
But
I
what you're
know.
saying is video conference, so
Yeah.
we can see you while we talk with you.
Yeah.
Because words are only about 7%, and then you've got tonality, which adds some more, and then you've got facial expressions and body language, which makes up a lot of it. So sometimes when you're hearing us on the radio, you might want to watch us as well, because we're hilarious.
Well, you do crack me up, and I am often found to be saying, I crack me up. So
Yes.
I guess that makes us hilarious. And so phase 2 is really just that get to know each other. That's the first piece of season 2, I'll call it, the second season in our relationship.
With you.
With you, no.
The listener.
Well, it was with us too, because that was the ski thing. Anyway, and then we're going to move to a face-to-face, heart-to-heart, person to person, live in the room, unless you're far away, and then we can't do that.
Yes.
Then if it's a fit, if we think it's a fit, as you're interviewing us, we're interviewing you.
Now it is
because-
Valentine's Day, and you said heart to heart.
Yeah, I did.
So I think we need to expand on that a little bit. It's very, very important to us that we understand the heart of the person that we're serving, the motivation, the why, because it can change the route of what the prescription, so to speak,
Yeah.
of what we're suggesting in the real estate transaction.
Absolutely. Because have you ever heard the phrase that if I give a prescription without a diagnosis, that's really probably going to turn into malpractice. I must do diagnosis before I give a prescription. Real estate's no different,
Right.
right? I want to make sure that I know what's up for you because it will give us different options that we create.
And many, many of our clients have said that first 45-minute to an hour and a half meeting is gold. It's golden. Because sometimes it allows them to say, yeah, it's not the right time to move ahead. Sometimes it is the right time to move ahead. Sometimes they come out of that with a different decision. And it's free. It's a free consultation. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And the questions can sometimes be, and you probably found this in a lot of new relationships. Sometimes when somebody asks you a question, it's a little uncomfortable. It can happen in any relationship at any time, right? It's a little bit uncomfortable. So getting to the heart of what's important for you isn't where we don't walk around with our heart on our sleeve, most of us.
No.
And so when we got to dig a little bit, it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So I guess I'm warning you right now, and yet it is so that we can best serve you, best help you. Couple that you're going to see on a show in a few weeks, or actually a few months, they're going to come because when we met them just over 5 years ago, they had no real estate.
Yes.
And in fact, he had a desire to own a home and she had zero desire to own a home.
And he wanted to own investment properties as well.
And she said, I don't even think I want to live in a house that I own. I want to pay rent for the rest of my life. And investment properties don't even talk to me.
And when we're talking about relationships, they're newly married, that can be a strain in the relationship. Just like if somebody says, I want kids, the other one says, I don't. I want a house, I don't want a house.
Or I want investment properties and a house.
Yeah, that can be a strain on the relationship.
Huge strain. And so they have gone in just under 5 years, or just under 5 years actually, from owning zero
Yep, renting.
to renting. And they read the wealth formula. They attended our financial workshops. They read the Right Fit Guide. They got the ebook on selling, buying, investing. So they gathered resources, watched what we were doing, watched others from the inside track do well in real estate. And now in less than 5 years, they now own 5 doors, plus a rental unit in their own house.
Yeah,
So
which they Airbnb.
Right. So it's kind of like 0 to 6 doors, 3 buildings, each with 2 units in it.
Which is amazing in 5 years.
And they had debt when they started this conversation outside of real estate. They'll share their story though, so I shouldn't give it all away.
Don't steal all the thunder.
Not all of it. And yet that's what can happen as we move into the second season, is we move into caring for you, taking care of what's important to you, because what's important to you becomes important to us.
Yes. Yes. So give us a call, because we'd love to start that dating relationship with you where we get together and we just find out if there's a good fit, right? Yeah. And that number would be 613-860-4663.
And the whole investing thing is a little more complicated.
Yes.
So it can take a little bit more time, and yet we have the time that you have. It doesn't have to be that you're ready for this now. This can be months and months out or even years out, but you want to start a strategy. So we are grateful that we get to do this thing called building wealth through real estate and building our lives together. Thank you.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward